endless light. What a light! What a light! Source of life and beauty. She takes care, protects you and me. When all over her dazzling mountain peaks, the majesty of ages speaks. So how have we returned her love? By poisoning the skies above, burning down her marvelous trees, and pouring waste into her seas. So let's understand and face our acts. We destroy our earth, that's a fact. Can't we bring back a smile on earth? Help her
The Amazon forest.
Just look at this fantastic countryside. The Amazon forest, the largest tropical forest in the world. As big as the whole of Western Europe. You find wildlife here that exists nowhere else in the world. Oh, you'll be amazed. There's 1,000 species of birds. 60,000 species of plants.
All right!
Such great acrobatics. And do you know what else they can use their long fairy tails for? To keep warm. These guys really feel the cold, and when they do, they use their tail as a scarf. Isn't that funny? Here, there are 300 species of monkey, and, well, even the occasional leopard. That's a sloth. You know, it spends 80% of its lifetime sleeping.
Sounds like your kind of job.
Well, I'd love a gig like that. I'd be great at it.
Even with a leopard as your secretary?
I can manage on my own, so no thank you. Whoa!
There's the Amazon, one of the longest and most important rivers in the world, over 7,000 kilometers long, and with more than 2,000 species of aquatic animals, especially fish, like the piranha. Take a little dip with them, and they'll strip you to the bone.
Hey, look over there.
Yeah, dolphins. Charming creatures.
But Maestro, how did they get so far upriver from the sea? It's way too far.
The thing is, they don't come from the sea because they are a different species, you know, and much rarer. In fact, they are freshwater dolphins.
Oh no! Look down there! It's awful! Oh!
Well, I did tell you there would be an incredible range of animal life here. Just look over there. Those turtles are enormous. And there's some giant otters relaxing and playing. And there's something you don't see every day. A lizard walking on the water.
Is that our other friends down there?
Let's go take a closer look.
Yoo-hoo! Hey! How you doing?
They're going a lot faster than we are. I should have chosen that group up there.
But you chose us instead, didn't you, Buster?
Well, I sure didn't choose you, Simon.
Oh, really? You sure?
I'd prefer to be down there with them. It looks much more fun.
Well, you're never happy with anything, are you?
No.
Quit moaning.
How come we didn't all stay together as one group then? Because our task is to study the Amazonian forest, while their job is to try to help tribes who are in potential danger and have asked for our assistance. We'll all hook up later on.
Yeah, there are people who want to drive the peaceful inhabitants of the forest from their homes. They had been living on their own pieces of land for centuries. They worked hard to make it fertile, and eventually, with hunting, harvesting, and fishing, they found everything they needed to survive. Food, fuel, clothing, medicine. Then the cattle merchants arrived, escorted by armed soldiers. It's probably fair to assume that these soldiers, or their superiors, had been bribed. So they forced the tribe to leave at gunpoint. So the tribe started to work in a different part of the forest. And then one day, the same thing happened again. But this time, they weren't willing to let it happen. Sadly, there are thousands of tribes who've been mistreated this way.
Just look at all that wood! I've never seen so much!
They're destroying all the forest.
But what are they gonna do with all that wood?
Well, it's certainly true they're clearing vast areas, upwards of 20,000 square kilometers every year. Country owes a lot of money, so it's selling off its magnificent forests at knockdown prices and polluting the environment.
Oh, but why do you say knockdown prices? Aren't they paid properly?
Yeah, sure. But if they sold manufactured goods instead, like furniture, plywood, paper, and all the other things their buyers produce, they'd get so much more. And there's definitely no shortage of labor here.
Very good answer, Peter. Plus, they'd cut down far fewer trees for the same income. Any other questions?
You said that cutting down these trees destroys and pollutes. It destroys the trees, but that doesn't cause pollution, does it?
Well, does someone want to answer the young man?
Do you think so? You have to remember trees do a whole number of different things. First of all, the tree canopy that's made up of foliage absorbs most sunlight and protects the planet against heat. Trees also return lots of moisture and rain into the atmosphere, which in turn causes more rainfall. And their roots capture rainwater, filter it, retain it, and fertilize the ground. But I think that Maestro can explain it better than me.
Well, we wrongly believe that it's fully grown trees that absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and release fresh air that's been properly oxygenated. But that's only true of young saplings. They do capture stale air, but when they're fully grown and they're cut down or burnt, all the carbon stored during their growth is released again. Do you understand now?
Well then, Maestro, as everyone knows the Earth is warming, why don't we just ban people from cutting down the forests?
Each short-sighted government is free to choose what it wants to do. Many feel that the forest is there to be exploited. The interests of certain people, as well as corruption, are powerful factors. Listen, there was an area of forest that had been cleared and is now a major soya farm. On a previous visit, I wanted to find out why these huge areas were being deforested. So I asked one of the country's most powerful men, its governor.
We have to build roads for our country. And our farmers and livestock breeders, well, they all need land.
But your country is enormous. There's no shortage of land. So why are you massacring your fantastic forests?
I'd cut down half the forests for the well-being of the country. You just give me one good reason why I shouldn't.
Just one reason? But I have 1,000 reasons. Without trees, your soil loses its quality, and you'll have less and less rain, which your vegetation is totally dependent on. Your deforestation is killing off 27,000 different species a year, including rare plants used in medicine.
Really?
Yeah, really. Like treatments for cancer, heart disease, arthritis. Do you need any more examples? Your forests play an essential role in regulating the climate and in producing oxygen. In 20 years, nearly 300 million hectares of forest have disappeared across the world, which has caused more than 25% of total global warming. Your forests are the very lungs of our Earth. Your country signed the 1992 Rio Declaration, which said it would agree.
So if I'm not mistaken, you'd like to see our forests classified as a World Heritage Site then? So I also imagine your international community will no doubt provide for the needs of the 180 million citizens who we work for in our country.
Fine words, aren't they? Except that most of the land in this country belongs to just a few people. And the small farmers and growers are still waiting for that little plot of land the government has promised them. And the gentleman I just told you about was one of the biggest producers of soya in the world. We're coming into land, kids! Hold on tight!
Oh, wow! That was some landing, you know. Some landing.
Well, here we are on the canopy, the very treetops of the forest. Here we are about 40 meters above the ground. At this level, or just a little lower, you'll find half of all the living species or organisms in the world. You can go see these giant trees later as well. From this observation tower, you'll see just how fascinating it all is. But be careful, there are eagles as well. They're chimeras, or squirrel monkeys, but we already met them at the beginning of our journey.
Get out of here! And stay gone!
Well, I was just about to tell you to be very careful of the aggressive, vicious harpy eagles here. Although they mainly attack those little squirrel monkeys. Right, now that we've seen those little acrobats, you yourselves can go leaping across the canopy. Oh, it's just one of my little inventions, you know. There's one for each of you in there. Harness up.
Quick, that's mine.
Now, you see this button? When you turn it to the right, the balloon inflates and you go up. To the left, it deflates and you go down. To change direction, press on the right or on the left. Simple, isn't it? So, now you can admire all these wonders from above. Flowers and plants, countless unknown species of insects and animals. Now, don't be frightened by the anacondas. They're nice creatures, really. Perhaps a little intrusive, but they don't attack humans. It would be much more dangerous if you were to meet a jaguar. Though I don't think there's really much chance of that.
Hey! How do I get down? Whoa! Ow!
You have to turn the button the other way.
Which way? Whoa!
Turn the button the other way.
Okay, have a good time looking around, but be careful. Don't go too far from the raft, okay? And we'll meet back here.
Hey,
I'm scared. Can I stay with you?
Well, if you like, we'll be a team.
Now I know what that one's called. It's a passion flower. So, are they birds or are they flying mice?
This time I know. They're flying squirrels with a membrane stretched between their arms and legs.
And those are spider monkeys.
Look up there, a leopard. Yoo-hoo!
hey.
Oh, come on, it's just a little iguana. And those are howler monkeys. Your yell got them started. They won't hurt you. Calm down.
I don't like this. I want to go home.
Come down here. It's not dangerous. Just take off again. Turn the button to get flying again. Turn the button. We're running a bit late, kids. Our friends will have to wait. Just look at the devastation all these roadworks have caused. Only forest fires cause more damage, like there, and most of them are started deliberately.
We have to clear all this sector. And your piece of land is right in the middle. Do you understand?
This is our land, and we've worked very hard to make it fertile. We won't let you take it.
Is that what you think? We seem to have the law on our side.
Hey, well, we're here to defend these people you're continuously threatening and hassling.
Huh, oh really? You're gonna save them with your pretty t-shirts, eh? Look at the guns. Where's yours?
Hold it. Listen, don't you think you've destroyed enough forest already?
That's not our problem. Anyway, what's it to you, old man?
Hey.
Hey.
No one ever talks to the maestro like that.
Don't you realize you have so much to gain by looking after the forest? Every year you can sell its fruit, plants, rattan, latex, and game each and every year. So don't you think that would be better?
Listen, what do I care? Come on, get rid of them. But for the record, who are you?
We are the guardians of the planet you're destroying.
All right,
Can we see your title deeds for this land?
I think I have a copy somewhere. I need to find it. Hey, let's go. Change of plan.
Very well said, Simon.
Well, these people often have fake deeds or illegal documentation or no paperwork at all.
My country is immense, full of game, flowers, of fruit, and forests. Then came the white farmers. They burnt the forest. Then the parrots began to fly around the treetops. The snakes hid themselves in the roots of the orchids, and the jaguars, tapirs, and peccaries fled. The trees turned to ashes and smoke. And with them, so did the butterflies, the birds, and the plants. The white men do not respect their laws. They plunder and pollute. And if we stand up to them, they kill us. They came offering us dirty clothing. Get your new clothes here. Roll up, roll up. But we saw through their little trick. You know, I think these white men want to destroy us with their old rags. Ah, these clothes really stink. Don't touch them again. They're dangerous. So we stripped them and took them back to their city naked. There are too many cars in their cities, too many people. You cannot breathe. The white man is strange. He doesn't know how to dream or to contemplate. He doesn't know how to look at the stars. He can only follow the money, and life passes him by. We are and we wish to remain free people, but we are worried. With our forests destroyed, there's less rain and water in the rivers, and the weather is hotter. Nature is like a person. The land and forests are its skin and hair. The rivers, its veins. How do you expect to keep the earth if you cut down its trees? And we know that you are worried too. Help us before it's too late. We all live on the same planet, and that's the only one we have. We all breathe the same air. Help us. The forest is the mother of all life. We must save it to save ourselves.
His words are pure wisdom. So many of today's great men and women would do well to listen to them. He said white men don't know how to look at the stars. That's strange. Another man before him said, he who doesn't know how to gaze at the stars is not worthy of being called a man. It was Albert Einstein.
So what can we do about the world's forests?
Well, it's a huge problem, and we still don't have enough information to answer it. We still need to do some more research and make a few more trips, and then we can all think about it together, okay? But for now, I'd just like to quote an old Mayan saying, "The trees hold up the sky. If we cut down the trees, the sky may fall on our heads." And that's so true.
See the mother who gave us birth, our faithful guide and friend, the earth. Look to her skies, so dear and so bright, that warm our hearts and bring us light. What a light, what a light.